The link to the video is in the description of the video. The link to the StreamYard, if you want to come on, it's in the description. You're welcome. Should make sure the ringer is on. Well, this show is brought to you by Modernity and the Enlightenment. And Bellini Bliss Bubbly Sparkling Water. Thanks, Modernity. We love it. That's really good. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Carolyn is sleeping while they're trying to fall asleep. Carolyn is trying to fall asleep. Her eyes look crazy right now as she's looking at the camera. If you want to come in, the link is in the description of the video, because for some reason somebody's not letting me post it in the comment section. Anne is with her father, and he is in Carolyn. So yeah, he is in hospice right now. Yeah, I think he's ready. It was really a interesting moment. So he won't drink or eat. He's seemingly like if you had to like look, you're like just to kind of like name it, looking at the surface, you would think that he's completely non-responsive, but it's not really the case. You tried to give him water, and he pushed away and would say no. And that's all he would say. He just says no if he says anything. When we even tried to, like, you know, take the straw, because he hasn't drank, like, today will be like basically the day one of no water whatsoever. Yesterday was not very much water, and so Anne is over there with her mother, and made him we made like spiral noodle with spaghetti sauce and meatballs for everybody. And then so the interesting thing was, she was saying that hello, Ezra. She was saying that the hearing is like the last thing to go, so he'll always hear. so he can listen, and we're assuming that he can actually hear us. And he nodded. He nodded, and his eyes are closed, and his breathing is really bad. But he nodded. And that was a clear yes, I can hear, which was very reassuring and comforting. But I mean, it's interesting, like he's, yeah, it's like he's ready. Yeah, he wants to go. I think he wants to last. I imagine there's a couple other people he wants to say hello to before he goes. And it's been a long journey. I think we've had a long few years of kind of like borrowed time with him, and that's been a blessing. And Carolyn was like, she finally started getting like to a point where she's not kind of like cautious of him, because she would be like, because he would be in a wheelchair or walking with a walker, and he's a big guy. I mean, he's like bigger than I am, and she's just like, who, like, yeah, it's grandpa, but like, look at that dude, and she was able to she was laying on his, like, perched up on his chest and like patting him and smiling and spending time with him as he was on his hospice bed tonight. So that was very interesting to see. And she just started being able to say grandpa. So she doesn't say grandma yet, but she does say grandpa. So that's very, very cool. And okay. Anna's heading home. She'll text when she's close. Okay. Live streaming. Love you. So in their family, in Anne's family, they're like, they all have very strong facial features. So they like look a lot like they all look related, because they are. But I mean, you could tell that they are related. And so like, even my nephews and stuff all look like, they even look like the grandparents. They don't just look like their parents, they look like their grandparents. And Carolyn is very much it's so interesting looking at Carolyn, because she looks like a perfect 50-50 of Anne and I. If you look at some baby pictures of me, Carolyn has some of my features and some of my mannerisms, but she also has a lot of her mother and her grandfather, which is very interesting. So I noticed right away that she like would make some of these, especially some of the looks that she has when she's puzzled, or like when she's kind of being like crafty. Like she looks a lot like her grandfather, and it's very cool. And she is crafty. No, she doesn't have a sick beard, but her father has enough sick beard for the both of us. Thanks, modernity. So she's, yeah. So they were reading uh, Charlotte's Web to her, and because or to him, Anne was reading Charlotte's Web to him, and well, yesterday we were reading some of the Book of Common Prayer with her, and so that was good. But today we were reading some Charlotte's Web because early in the summertime we went to see Charlotte's Web, like a little kids production of Charlotte's Web, and at the school, and the whole family was there. One of our friends' daughters was in the play, so we all went, and my father-in-law went as well, and he and I both. Yeah, just two guys like watching this play, crying, grown ass dudes crying in this, watching this play. So Anne was reading Charlotte's Web to him today. So that's what's going on in our life today. It's pretty cool. So it's interesting how in real life, on the ground, has like these kind of different strange things that can happen. That so Anne's aunt is Catholic, been Catholic forever. Um, Anne was raised Catholic, but we're attending a Anglican church. Anne's mother is like was her father was a um, Methodist preacher who was like not a good example of the church. And I'll get to that, Elson. So her mom isn't like really interested in church stuff that much. A lot of like disconnection there. But Anne's father was, I think, born Catholic, but then turned away from the religion for a while, and then so he's an AA, and Anne's mom also is an AA, and they are like been sober for like 44 years or something like that. And so they have a lot of years of sobriety, and that's how they really had their connection with God. But they wanted to raise their children in the church, and they decided that the Catholic Church would be where they would do it at. Now, her brother, I think, landed right now. I think he's in a Baptist church in Indiana with his family. And he was like for most of the time that I've known him, he's kind of like a physicist, kind of like borderline autistic atheist, but like would still practice prayers and stuff like this. And then he kind of like basically now he's like really into stuff in a deeper way. And they have 5 children that are like 5 years and younger, basically. And he met his wife at Hillsdale, and my sister-in-law also went to Hillsdale. And so like this is the kind of family they are, really lovely. And I just think it's interesting that they can have all these kind of like different people in the same family with different spiritual backgrounds, and yet they're able to have such a rich family that, and they stayed married and all that stuff. So yeah, Olson, my story is finished. It's sent off to Skankenstein, and then Neil recorded a audio version of it for me, and I sent that off to him today. And thank you, Neil. I don't know. It's weird though, because my story turned out to be 42 minutes long on the audio version, which is crazy. It's like longer than it's the longest thing I've ever written. But I really had a really good time doing it. I really loved writing that story. I think it's a good story. I'm really happy and excited to see what everybody thinks about it. Hopefully they read it or give it time and listen to it. And I would love to see more people contributing to the little zine. And I'm very much looking forward to your story, Olson, and everybody else's. So I had a conversation with somebody today. The name of the person will go unnamed. It was around the topic of kind of like the ortho bro, whatchamacallit, the ortho bro kind of apologetics, orthopraxy stuff. And that guy, the guy that I talked to today, is like listens to these people, and he's he's all for it and stuff. And I really liked. I want to say I really like this guy, but after the conversation, I was just like completely baffled because I didn't understand. I still have a lot of trouble trying to wrap my mind around possessing like a particular sharp attitude with the worldview that they have. I don't know how to say this. Basically, because I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't understand what's with this stuff. Like, why, what's the point? What are you so worried about what the Anglican Church is doing or what the Calvinist Church is doing? I don't see how it's going to harm your church in any way. And he said, yeah, we don't care about that liberation shit. He may not have said shit, but we don't care about that kind of liberalism. And I just thought, I don't understand. And like, isn't it? And then he was saying also that he only sees that his position and the people in his camp, which is the way he was describing this, that his camp will only grow and things will only grow and get worse from his camp as his camp inflicts their worldview upon the world around them and the churches and the other Christians around them, and that he's okay with this. This is what he wants to do because he really thinks that this is a like they're afraid of what feminism and liberalism did to and I don't disagree on some of these points, but I don't think it's appropriate to wield the church that way, I guess. And the more that he was talking, the more it felt like, oh, this is like weird. This sounds exactly kind of like white supremacy or something, but without the color. So it's like it literally to me sounded like uh um theological supremacy or something, and it freaked me out, dude. Because I don't understand the justification for this type of thing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like to use these words because, like, um, it's really weird to me, dude. And if this person is like, he's all for him and his people taking down these kind of other churches or these other kind of like worldviews, and like it's like holy war to me. That's very, very, and I don't like, I really don't know how to wrap my mind around um being the kind of person that would condone it and cheer it on. And like, and I said, because this kind of stems out of the thing that happened earlier this week, and I said, dude, I don't know, it just seemed like the dude that did that live stream, it was like 6 hours of like hand up money was coming in hand over fist, and I watched that happen, and it just seemed like this guy is taking advantage of vulnerable people who are looking for somebody to stand up and be their proxy, and they'll pay him to do it, and and then those folks are coming into the church, wherever the church is, and I just think that it's like so sad because the church is already in kind of a delicate position, and I don't think that that's the right approach. And what's really messed up is the fact that I'm I'm kind of fearful even just saying this publicly here right now, because like all that guy has to do is come in, take a clip of my show, put me on his show, have people pay him to so that he can talk mad shit and talk about how I'm fatherless and 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 things like this. And this is like disgusting to me. And the people that I've seen act like this, you know, they to me seem to be, you know, obviously there's their current worldview is born out of resentment. And but then you start saying things like, you know, like in the West, and it's like, yeah, but dude, you're the West. You're from the West. You're not from the East. You're not Eastern. You're Western, full on. And all right, I gotta go let the dogs out. I'll be right back. BRB. All right. So okay. Yeah, I mean, so, and like this is where it gets really weird for me. Like the dude that played on that had that live stream. If you look at some of his oldest stuff, he's playing a weird character. Is like he's acting like a comedian. And he's playing this character, but then and it's not genuine. But then I wonder, like, okay, so is he like really deep in the kayfabe on this thing, and he's actually just literally playing kayfabe, like, and and thinks it's funny or something. And then the other part of me thinks like the guy that I talked to, like I don't know, like is that guy um is that guy what how do I want to say it? Like some sort of like undercover agent or something that works for one of these three-letter agencies who's like embedded in that community, because like I can't imagine that there aren't like three-letter agencies, people who are embedded in like things like the Russian church or the Orthodox church or whatever around the United States, especially since it's kind of born, like the new insurgence of it is born out of like radicals who came out of the left. Like I can't imagine that like and honestly, and then those people who are in those kind of um leftist kind of like extreme groups, they may have been working. I don't know. Like I don't know, dude. I don't know what to think. Um, hello. Hmm. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if that's if there's weird stuff like that happening. Yeah, a lot of people. I'd like to talk with you about that more, Ezra. Like, what do you mean by that? Sometimes. Oh. uh, she's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It would be interesting to talk more about what you mean by that, Ezra. Like, okay, like say if 15 years ago I was like a big fan of NFL, and you know, and I was let's say I was a Packers fan, and I'd buy all their merch, and so I wouldn't only be like their I wouldn't only purchase their memorabilia, but I would give them attention, and I would actually become kind of an advertising beacon for them as a fan. Is that what you kind of mean? And that's what happens kind of with the algorithms and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what's more sad, like if it's genuine or a like a undercover kayfabe thing. I don't know what would be actually more sad. Am I the one that's deluded? Is what I'm really wondering too. It's like, am I really that deluded where like it actually makes sense to be in a camp that is like rigid in their thinking about um, never mind theology, but let's just say this church. Oh, let's turn her down. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, you. See, the way it sounded to me was this guy's almost saying that these church and these people who are kind of being our proxies or our representative for these my church are very strong, and they're going to bring the heat, and they're going to have a very masculine, off-putting presence, and they're going to get shit done. And I wanted to, the only regret that I had in not asking him is how far are you guys willing to actually go with this? Like, how far do you really want to take that? You know? So, yeah, see it also. He used a phrase like toxic mercy and toxic grace was like the thing that they're primarily against. I was like, I don't even know what toxic mercy or toxic grace would even look like. Hey there, Ian. I want to see your face, bro. Okay. Just as long as you're not a weirdo.
No weirdness. Wait, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're there.
I was trying to flip it around so you could see the fire.
Very good. Leave it there.
Okay. I just saw nobody was on. Have you been talking to anybody?
Nope, just myself.
I kind of feel like your streams are like campfires. Like whoever's riding by wants to get warm, wants to have a chat.
Yeah, I like it, dude. It's very cool. Let's see. I want to try something. Hide. I wonder if I can hide names. I wonder. That's not important. Ian's carrying the fire tonight, boys. So, did you hear any of this? Do you have any thoughts?
No, everybody in my family just went to bed. And I was just gonna sit out here till the fire gets a little lower so it's safe to like go to bed and then go to bed.
You got any cool stories you can share?
Cool stories.
Yeah, man.
Something that happened today was it was supposed to rain, and it's been raining on weekends recently in Western New York. So it's been like uh, kind of miserable during the time when I'm uh, not working and getting to spend time with my family. And it's nice, but then you're like cooped up inside. So today it was supposed to rain. It didn't. Then we went to a lake nearby, like walked around. They have a pier out there. And then I have a 18-month-old son. And so we got to swim in the lake today, which is like the start of summer. This is not really like a great story, but it was just be a
How old
dad
is your son?
and be out in nature. He's 18 months.
18 months. Wonderful. Yeah, that's great. Tell me about your experience so far as being a dad.
Well, the thing that I've been remarking on the most is like the well, I guess there's two things. So like the change in myself, the transformation from being like married, so like kind of not focused on myself 100%, but pretty much like a majority of the percentage was self-focused, and then finding out that we're having a son or a child, and I was like, wow, this is crazy how my focus is shifting towards my kid, and he's not even here yet. And so that's stayed true, like for me through, I guess it'd be 27 months or whatever, and like since finding out, and then how long. And then the second thing would be I have a lot more like compassion for my parents as parents. I feel like our culture is like I don't know, like attachment theory or lots of different psychological theories would be like, and because your parents did this, or because someone treated you this way when you were young, this is why you have that emotional hang up. And so it's easy to feel that way, but when you're just trying to do your best and you have like an unending well of love and support for a person, it's like, man, I can't believe that my parents felt this way about me, and in whatever ways it went wrong, it did, but not for lack of trying, at least in my case with my parents. So
How old are you? Oh, that was the question that did it, huh?
oh
Oh, there you are.
yeah, sorry, I'm 27.
27. Nice. What was the most profound thing that so far about being a father?
I think I don't know. Can you? What does profound mean? Like when you're asking it.
Well, one of the things, the profound things that happened for me was like realizing that someday, that realizing that I had my wife and I had, with God's help, obviously, contributed to creating a being that someday will um uh not live.
Yeah.
That was a very profound kind of like crazy thing, and I know it's a really crazy thing to say out loud because I don't. If you haven't had a kid, it's hard to understand what I'm trying to say there. There's like there's like a necessary kind of mourning that
Mm.
was kind of like it was just visited upon me. I'm like, yeah, this is like a reality that
Yeah.
um but like everything about kind of like the color of life in general has been like cranked up to 11, and that's kind of like one of those instances where that's what I mean by that. It makes everything that much more um I don't know, vivid, for like, I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it gives it meaning. Yeah. I had a thought the other day. I got to talk to Mark Parker. I accidentally released that today. That was hilarious. It's supposed to come out on Monday, but it's not. And we talked about like the church and stuff, and the body of Christ, and what to be a part of the body of Christ and stuff like that. And I just that like my son gets to be representative God like on the planet, and it now. So I don't know how it works with like the abundant life it talks about, but it sure seems like even in ways that my wife and I are not like aware of just the things that I don't know. I feel like not self-confident, and that allows them to be the full of life. But anyway, I just was thinking like that participation in the body of Christ. And I don't like church. Some of these words get like diluted. We use them so much, but and Jesus, like do the will of God, and like you're saying, like a being that will live, and but then I guess my sense was of whatever it is that he will do in his life, in between the living or the being born and the dying, he'll have an impact. His words will have been down. His actions and relationships can, form the world, and so that's pretty profound.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like that's already happened. Like, I feel that just kind of from like this extreme gratitude position of gratitude, where it's like, man, like the sky falls tomorrow. I had a family, and
Yeah.
like that was just the most tremendous cool thing. I mean, even just like sitting there tonight in the hospice with Anne's father, and when I look at my daughter, I think of not just her mother and myself and my family. I mean, I look at like the whole line. There's like, there's and then once I start to kind of ponder kind of the connection of just the most basic connection, which is like, and what I mean by the most basic connection is like, I actually mean probably the highest of connections. So it's beyond our works. It's beyond the things that we did in life. It's like at the most basic connection is like God's grace and mercy, like this incredible thing, the spark of life itself is something that we all share in, right? That at the very base of that we have
Yeah.
that in common. and um and that just strange miracle of existence. And um um just kind of sitting there tonight thinking about uh even if the universe ends tomorrow, we had a moment, and many of moments. Most of the moments I've had, I've been so asleep to, and it makes me think I should really pay attention more because
Yeah,
how many moments there are.
I was just listening to a McGilchrist thing because I'm going to talk to Nate Heil about consciousness, and McGilchrist talks about attention as a moral act because it forms you and it around you, and I think that's kind of what you're talking about, even a little bit. You think you're talking, but the introduction of our children into the world, they are like moral agents, but then even just through relationship, they are like I think in some capacity, like spiritual capacity, maybe you attend to your children, even if you're an absentee parent, or not an optimal parent, or something. You're even if you attempt to divert your attention, there's still a part of you that is attached. Yeah, I'll say spiritually, but like obviously biologically.
So Plebis asks, attention is moral act?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he was describing. I will say this: it was kind of an aside, but he was describing the way in which your world comes into being by what you attend to, and this is very straightforward, like for TLC, Jordan Peterson. If you're trying to cross, if you're trying to go through a path or whatever, and there's a tree across, then that tree is going to be an obstacle. But if you're trying to block the path and defend the path, then the tree is going to be like a border or a wall, or what, like things appear to you as they appear for narrative, I guess. And so that's one aspect of it. But then what you attend to also forms yourself. And this is more, I guess, like the cup example, where you, in order to grasp the cup, you adapt your hand to prime it so that you can wrap your fingers around the cup or whatever.
Optimal grip.
Yeah. And that's the process of forming yourself according to what you're attending to for the purposes and the meaning and the goal that you have. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I would like to follow up with Dr. McGilchrist to understand more. It was just one of the ones it was a Peterson podcast with McGilchrist. I can't remember the title of it, but one of the Daily Wire ones, if anybody wants to try to find it. And it, like, morals are so lame because they get like dragged into the realm of ethics and like right and wrong. I just feel like right and wrong is it's so often like just like a power thing, you know, like even you, I wasn't able to jump on the other night, but maybe Friday or no, maybe Thursday night, you were talking about like Christians being mean, bullies, that thing. And
Yeah.
I like I think it's so weird, but it makes perfect sense, because if Christianity is about being right, then of course you can be a bully because you're right, you know. Like it's important to be a bully because right is the most important thing to be, you know. Kindness, love, uh attention with care, that sort of thing. Be damned, as long as you're right.
Yeah.
But I just don't really think that that's what morals are. Like this is just off the top of my head, but I feel like something that's moral might be wise, and it might be like associated with the ability to correspond to reality rather than rightness, because rightness in our world is like associated with perception, which is a much different realm than reality, I would say.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I probably should get going though.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.